Multi-part file upload and download is a very common task which a web application handles. And today we will see how we can implement multi-part file upload and download in a Spring Boot application. So we will create endpoints for uploading the file and also for downloading the file. And for the upload purpose, we will be uploading or saving the file at two places. One is locally into the system and the second is into the database. So I'll make use of H2 database here. I'll not go ahead with MySQL. If you like MySQL, you can go ahead with MySQL as well. So we will be needing web dependency, then we need H2 database, and we need Spring Data JPA. So these are the three dependencies which we need. Okay, I'll generate. So I have kept it as Maven project Java and the version is Java 8. Now let me unzip and import it into an IDE. Okay, so now I have imported the project. Let me go ahead and start the project and see if H2 database is accessible or not. Okay, so now let me go to localhost and H2 console. It is not accessible. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and in the application.properties, I need to add spring.h2.console.enabled equals to true. Okay, so as you can see here, it has prompted me that this is the location where the database is present. So I'll go to browser and I'll do this. Yeah, as you can see, it has taken this mem. So I'll first test the connection. It is not working, so I'll change this. I'll copy this and I'll change this JDBC URL and then test the connection. It is working and then connect. So as you can see, we have our H2 database up and running. Now we'll start with our models and the controller. So let me go ahead and create some packages. Okay, so now let me first go ahead and create a controller. I'll name it as file upload controller. Right, let me annotate it with the REST controller and I'll give a base request mapping of API/v1. Okay, so the first method which we want to create is for upload the file locally into the system. Okay, and this will be a post mapping. Let's say we'll name it as upload/local and we'll be getting a request param of type variable name as file and this will be of type of multipart file. Okay, yeah, now what we have to do is we have to check whether this file is valid or not and then we have to save it in our local system. Okay, so that code will go in here. So the next API which we want to create is to upload into a DB. Okay, upload DB. And this will also take the same parameters. And this will take a post mapping of, let me give the endpoint as /upload/DB. Okay, so now we have two endpoints. One is taking care of saving the files into the local file system and the other one is taking care of saving the file to the DB. So first we will look how we can save file locally. So for that I need to have a service. Let me create an interface and name it as file upload service. Okay, let me give some function as public void upload to local. Okay, and this will take a file as multipart file and that's it. Right, let me create a service IMPL as well and this will be having a class which is implementing the file upload service. Okay, and this implements file upload service. I will annotate it as service. Okay, to save the file locally, we need to have a folder path. So I'll do private string upload folder path. Okay, and that will be, let's say I want to save it in desktop with a prefix, let's say uploaded underscore. Okay, so my file will get stored into desktop and the file name will be prefixed with uploaded underscore. We want to extract the file data and we want to save it to our local system. Okay, so I'll do byte and data equals to file dot get bytes. Okay, so now we have our data available with us. I'll create a path object, path equals to paths.get, and we will be having upload folder, and then plus we will be adding the file.get original file name. Okay, now we want to write the data to this particular path. So we'll do path comma data start write. Right now this will be writing this data to the path we have mentioned. Okay, so now let me restart the server and check whether it is working fine or not. But before that we want to add in here, right? So we want to private file upload service, me auto wire it. Okay, and here we'll do file upload service dot upload to local, and we will be sending the multipart file in there. So right now I'm not returning anything. If it says 200 okay, it means the upload file is successful. So I'll restart the server. Okay, so it has started. Let me open the Postman and I'll go to localhost /8080/v1/upload/local, right? This is the path. Then post, we'll go to body, we'll select form data, we will enter our variable file, and this will be of type file. We will select a file. Let's say I'm selecting this files gradle_task.png. Let me invoke. It says 200 okay. Now we should have this file copied into desktop and saved, right? I'll go to desktop and we'll see. Okay, yeah, here it is. So it says uploaded_files gradle_task.png. So this was the prefix which we mentioned in our application. So this is saving the file locally. So we have successfully implemented how to upload file into a local file system, right? Now we will see how to upload the file or save the file into a database table and how to download it from here. To save the file into data, first we need to have an entity, right? So we'll create a model. Let me name it as uploaded file. Okay, so I will annotate it with entity, and in here we want a file ID. So I'll put string and I'll put file ID, then we'll put string and we'll put file name. Next I want to have the type of file, so I'll do string file type and then private byte of file data, right? So I'll annotate as at ID, then at generated value, give the generator as UUID so that I can get a nice string UUID type ID. Okay, then add generic generator, and in here I need to enter name equals to UUID and the strategy as UUID2. Okay, and one more thing I need to do is I need to annotate with at log, because we want to save this particular field as a long data type, as a large file type in database. Quickly I'll just generate getters and setters. So now we are done with our entity. Now we'll create a repository. I'll name it as a file upload repository. Okay, and this will extend from JPA repository, and this will take our entity which is upload file comma string as the ID, right? Let me annotate it with repository. So now we have to create a service which will handle the persistence of file to the DB. Add one more method which will be method for DB. So upload to DB, and this will be having the same multipart file as the parameter and file. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and implement this into service IMPL. In here what I need is I need to have a repository instance. So for that I'll go ahead and create private file upload repository, and I need to auto-var it. So now what I need is I need to create an instance of uploaded file. Now let me populate the data, set file data, and file data will be file.get bytes. Okay, and this should be inside a try catch block. Yeah, then let me set the content type. So file type would be file.get content type. So this will tell us which kind of file is actually uploaded. Is it an image? Then what is the format? PNG, JPG, or SVG, whatever. Then if it is a PDF file, if it is an XML file, all of that will be extracted from file.get content type. Next we will add uploaded file dot set and the file name. So file name would be file.get original file name. Now let us persist it. So file upload repository dot save, and we want to save this uploaded file. Then we'll go ahead and create the endpoint. So we'll clearly say upload service dot upload to DB, and we'll pass the multipart file. Okay, now let me restart the server. Okay, so now the application has started. Let me go back to Postman, and I'll duplicate this tab and I'll change it to DB. So this is our endpoint. Okay, so let me this time select some PDF file. So this is a PDF file I have selected and then send. It says 200 OK. So now what we have to do is we have to go to DB and we have to see whether it has been saved or not. Yeah, so as you can see, uploaded file is the table which was created, and if we run select star, so as you can see we have this file ID which is a format of UUID. Then we have file data which says how many bytes of data it is having, and the file name, and the file type which says application/PDF. Now the next question is how to download a file which was saved into the database. So I'll head back to the controller and I'll add one more endpoint which says public void download files. Okay, so this will be a get mapping, and the endpoint should be, let's say, download, and then slash. It should also give us an ID, which file ID needs to be downloaded. So in here we'll do add path variable and then string file ID. Okay, now I have to write a service which will download the file from database. Okay, so I'll go to service and I'll add one more service saying public uploaded file and then download file. This will take in a string parameter which will be having the file ID. Now I'll implement the same. Okay, what this will do, this should actually return us a file which will be having the details of the asked file ID. So file upload repository dot get one, and we are passing the file ID. Okay, so now our service is in place. I'll go to the controller and I'll straight away fetch the service. So file upload service dot download file, and we will be passing the file ID. Okay, and this will be uploaded file. Okay, I'll do a return. Now let me restart the server. Okay, so let me first upload this file. So this has uploaded into database. Yeah, so this has uploaded. Now I'll invoke the download API. So load, and we have to give the ID, right? So I'll grab the ID from database. Okay, and we need to get it. Okay, it says 500 error. Let me go ahead and see. Okay, so this should be ID, right? We restart the server. So I'll upload this file. I'll go to database, take this file ID, and I'll enter it at the parameter. So it says, you can see file ID is this, file name is this, home quarantine, whatever it is, then file type is a PDF file, and then this is the file data. But ideally we don't want this kind of response, right? We want actually a downloadable file, so that whenever we invoke this URL, it should automatically download the file and save it to our system. So for that we need to change the response type of this API. So here, as you can see, we have we can put as a response entity, and that response entity will be holding a resource, right? We'll add resource, and then we'll not return this. So I will hold this data into the uploaded file, and then I'll create a return response entity dot OK, and here dot the content type. The type would be basically media type dot parse media type, and that we will be getting from uploaded file type dot get file type. Then we will add header, which will be having http headers dot content disposition, and what we want to mention is that this is holding an attachment, and the file name of that is, so we have mentioned in header that this is an attachment and the file name of that attachment is this. Then in the body we want to actually set all the byte data array. So I'll create a new byte array resource, and inside this I will be putting all the data dot get file data, which will be having bytes of data, right? Okay, I think so this resource is wrong, so this resource should be from core.io. okay, so now this is set. I'll restart the server. So right now it's empty. I will upload a file. Let's say I'll upload it. It says 200. okay, I'll go here and I'll run this. It is having this file ID. Now this file ID I'll be entering into the get API and see if it is returning me the appropriate response or not. So this time when I do send, it says 200. okay, and they said this response could not be previewed. Download the response to open it with an appropriate application. And if you go to header section, it will have this content disposition which says attachment. The type is attachment, and the file name is, this is the PDF file. The content type is application/PDF. Okay, so let us see by invoking this API from a browser. So I have entered this download API and with the file ID. Let us see what happens when we do enter. So it has downloaded me the PDF file, the exact PDF file which I uploaded into the DB. Now let us modify each of the responses and handle the error. Okay, till now to grab the file ID which was uploaded to DB, we have to go to the database and need to copy the file ID and all. So what I'll do right now, to the upload DB REST API, what I'll do, I'll add an upload response which will actually return back the file ID as the response of upload. So I'll create a response class which will be file upload response, private string file ID, then private string file type, then private string, and we want to also add a download URI for that particular file which was uploaded. So for that we'll do private string and download URI. Okay, we create getter setters. So now we are done with file upload response. In the API where we are uploading it to the DB, we will be returning a file upload response, right? So this will return us the uploaded file. It is not returning. Let me go ahead and make it return the uploaded file. Go to the implementation, and this will also be uploaded file, and this should return. So in that scenario, when we have uploaded the file successfully, it will return me the uploaded file data. I'll check if this particular file is not null. If not null, then we can return the particular response which we want to create. So since I have not added the Hetios dependency into this application. So I'll make use of servlet URI components builder to create a URL. I'll do string download URI servlet URI components builder from current context path. Then we want to give the path, right? And again we want to give the path which will having the ID of that particular file which we have just uploaded, and the ID we will be getting from uploaded file.get file ID. Okay, now I'll convert it to URI string. Now the next thing is to create a file upload response, right? So I'll do file upload response equals to new file upload response, right? And in the response we want to set response.set download URI to the download URI, then response.set file ID that will be coming from uploaded file.get file ID, file type uploaded file.get file type, and response.set upload status which will be a successful upload, then response.set message and whatever message you want to put. So let's say file uploaded successfully. Okay, so this is the response we want to return response. In case of a null response, it means something went wrong and the file did not get persisted to the database. We'll do response.set message. Cool. Now this is our final structure of an upload API. Let me restart the server. Okay, so now let me go to Postman, and this time I'll upload some basic PNG file, let's say this one. And when I upload this, I'm getting a response saying the file ID which I uploaded was this. It is a type of image/png, and the message is file uploaded successfully, upload status is true, and the download URI is this one. So the best thing about this download URI is you can directly copy this link and you can go to your browser and you can hit enter and it should download the file. But it says white label error page, and that is the reason because we have missed adding slash here. Okay, so let me go ahead and add slash in the URI, restart the server. Okay, this time let me select some different file. It's also a PNG and do an OK, and it says image/png, and this is the download URL. Now copy this URL, head it over to your let me just open incognito once and head it over to your browser, enter it, and boom, you have downloaded. So this is the file which we uploaded, and this is what we are getting when we click the download link, right? So this is how you download and upload API works in Spring Boot application. You can fine tune it more. You can also add error handler on the basis of which file type you should allow, which file type you should not allow. So there is one more important thing, which is the file limit. What is the file size limit your API should allow to be uploaded? Okay, there should be a cap on the file limit size, right? Because if there is not, then it might happen the user is trying to upload a large file, very large file, and your server is not able to handle that large file. Your server will throw some error which the client will not be able to understand. Let us configure the file size limit in the application. So for that, we'll go to application.properties, and we can set Spring Servlet Multipart file size limit, and we will tell that what is the maximum file size limit and what is the maximum request size limit. For that, we'll do spring.servlet.multipart.max, then file hyphen size equals to, let's say I'll put 128 KB for now. Okay, and similarly we can also put a cap on maximum request size. Okay, so this will be the servlet request size which cannot exceed 128 KB. Now let me restart the server, and we will try to upload a file which is more than 128 KB, and let's see what happens, what Spring does. Okay, let me head over to the API and I'll add this PDF file which is obviously greater than 128 KB, and let's see, it says 500 internal server error, and we don't know what is the error because this file is having more than 128 KB of size, and this is not even entering into the controller. The error which is thrown here is directly from the servlet itself, and this is an error which is coming from maximum file upload size exceeded exception. So even if we add this block inside a try catch, we will not be able to intercept that error, because this error is not thrown in from the controller. This error is thrown outside of the controller from the servlet itself. So here we can make use of a REST controller advice, which will intercept all those servlet exception, and it will be applied to all the controllers which we have in the application. So let me go ahead, and in the exception package, we will create a class which will be file upload exception, let's say handler. Okay, so let me create a method which will be public string, and let's say handle file upload exception. Okay, and this will take max upload size exception as a parameter, right? So max upload size exceeded exception comma http servlet request comma http response. Okay, so this is what we need. Okay, so let me return file size limit exceeded. Please make sure the file size is well within 128 KB. Okay, so this is the message we want to throw whenever someone uploads a file which is more than 128 KB of size. Okay, so first thing which we want to do here is we want to add an exception handler annotation in here, which should get invoked whenever this exception occurs, right? So I'll add this dot class, and we need to add annotation as at REST controller advice. Okay, let me restart the application. So let us select a file which is more than 128 KB of size. Okay, now send. It has uploaded successfully because it might be size less than 128 KB. Let me add one more file which is this one. So this is 180 KB, right? 180 KB. I'll add this, and it says file size limit exceeded. Please make sure the file size is well within 128 KB. Now let me remove this, and I'll try to add something which is less than that. So this gets saved because this is less than 128 KB. So this is how you can put a file size limit in your application, and you can also intercept an exception whenever client uploads a file size which is greater than what you have defined in an application. So this is it, guys. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and do like and subscribe the channel. Till then, happy coding. Bye bye.